Yeah, greetings, gentlemen. Yeah, the most of the days, uh, it is good. Also, uh, as we grow, to know that uh, you can bring a difference in this world. It's good also for you to know that you are not created just to be something that has nothing. God created a man when you read from the book of Genesis. And when he created the man, God said, "It is well, it is good," because he created the man in his own image. This means that man has everything from the creation. As he grows, he has everything. And what is needed is for a man to realize his potential, is for a man to understand and to know that he has something that God has put in him. You know, as the same man, word man does not only stand for a female or for a male, it stands for both. So when I say man, I mean the one which is called female or the one which is also called man. So female and the male, they both make a man. So that is man. Now, when God created us, that's the way from the book of Genesis. You would see that from the creation, God first created things that will assist a man to do well in this life. You find that God created rivers, lakes, created stones, created mountains, created fruits. Whatever God made, it was good for a man, so that a man should live a prosperous life. And that was the idea, or maybe the objective of God creating a man. He didn't want a man to suffer. He didn't want a man to live in a miserable life, but wanted a man to live in prosperity. But now, what makes a man to suffer? Sin. When sin entered into the world, it put man off from the things that God gave a man. The devil had now access to the things that were given to a man, and he removed the things that God gave a man. That's why for someone to do well in this life, as the Bible says, seek his kingdom and righteousness, then everything shall be added unto you. It means riches are just added unto man. It means the thing that we need are just added unto man. Man is already given those things. The riches of this earth, gold, silver, is already, these things are already given to a man. But what a man misses is the ways of God, so that all the riches can be given to a man. Now, a man loses focus because of the thing that surrounds him. When we talk of this man, we can as well talk of the nation. A nation can lose focus on the things that God has given that nation. You find that countries are fighting not because they are made to be that, like that. No. There are some people who want to take advantage over the things that God has given that nation. Eventually, you find that those countries, people living in those countries, they are waging wars because uh, others are influencing into these nations, into these countries, fighting over gold, fighting over silver, fighting over copper, fighting over different chemicals, or maybe different stones, different wealth which God has deposited into a country. But what lacks there is not that what is supposed to be done in the way how people look at things. People are expected to look at things the way God looks at them. So a man from the creation has been given wealth. A man from the creation has been given dominion over it. You find that countries have nice lakes, beautiful lake. When you go to Africa, you'd see Lake Malawi, very beautiful. You find that the things that God deposited in that lake, Lake Tanganyika, very beautiful. Lake Victoria, things which God has deposited in it. There is fish which is in it. And the lake itself can be used as a hub for tourism. The lake itself can be used as a passage for transport. People may use to carry things, may have big ships which can carry things at once, containers at once. But you find that the lake is just idle. You find that there are other areas which have good soil. God have placed the land with his soil. But you find that the land is idle. Then the country is not realizing it or adding value to what God has given to that country. Eventually, you find that people are suffering, yet are sitting on leeches of this earth. You find that people are crying, yet they're sitting or standing on leeches of this earth. A man who is born blessed, find that he's suffering. A man who is born with riches, you find that man is suffering. What is the problem? Is it that the man is poor? No, he's not poor. Man is rich. Is that man has nothing? No, man has everything that he needs. To realize or to harvest or to get from what God has given us is by putting into good use these things that God has given us. But most of the time, you find that these things are not done. Most of the time, you find that they are not utilized or they are underutilized. The countries are crying, we haven't received enough rains. Yet, you find that there are believers moving around. You find that the land is sitting next to the lake, which has pure water, which has water which can be used for irrigation, which can be used to generate crops, but they are underutilized. Look at Lake Malawi, very big, nice lake. There's good, nice water for swimming. There's nice water which can be used for irrigation. The country can grow crops 3 times a year, but you find that the country is suffering from hunger. People are busy fighting for politics. Go to Tanganyika, find that water somewhere there is idle, underutilized. Water which could use for agriculture, you find that water is taken, for instance, Lake Malawi, all the way to Zambezi. From Zambezi all the way to Indian Ocean. The ocean which has got salt, which is salted. And we are just wasting that water. Instead of using it for agriculture and also for hydropower as they do. But people are watching. People are just looking at it. The thing that God has blessed us with. Look at the DRC, very big country. People are just busy fighting, busy killing each other for God, the one who would have made that country to be rich, the one that would have made a man from that country to be rich, the one that would have made Africa to be rich. But they're busy fighting over something that God has given them free, over something that they'll just sit down and agree. Let us, our country, benefit from it. Let our country prosper. Let this help our country. But you find that they're busy fighting. Those who come from outside, inflating, causing chaos, disturbing that land, that nation, Democratic of Congo, disturbing that land. They're just getting a chance, a way in order to get the riches of that nation, the God of that nation. Pay little, pay nothing. You find that people have been in mining in those nations, who have been working hard day and night doing the mining thing, but they're still in poverty. They live in poverty. There's nothing that can light about. The indigenous, they're in a stinking poverty. But the country is sitting on God, is sitting on riches. Only a few people will find that they're prospering. Look at the Houthi. They are busy fighting, busy killing people, busy disturbing the economy of the world. But look at them. Poverty is surrounding them. People are suffering in that country. People need food in that country. But they are busy fighting, disturbing, throwing ships. For what? These are the things that instead of concentrating on the thing that God has blessed us with, we are buying weapons to disturb others, buying weapons to kill others. What about asking those who are giving you weapons to give us money, give us food, so that you take us out of poverty? Give us things that we need that can be out of this poverty. Those are the things that you should be looking for. But they will not come to do that. Well, they just want you to be used by them. At the end, you still remain poor. At the end, poverty still is on you. God has blessed us, blessed this land, blessed a man, and he said it is good. Everything is okay. Because everything that a man will need, God has already given us. It's not a time that we should keep on fighting. It's not a time that we should look on things that will not prosper us. Let us look on things that can change our life. Let us look on things that can bring a difference in us. Let us look on things that can bring a difference in our families. Think over it. We are not poor. God created us with all things. Life to success is what we always think about. Life to success is always should be our goal. That one should be always our goal. How can we be there, move from this level to another? How can we do well? How can we utilize the resources that God has given us? How can we share the riches that God has given us? Not fighting, killing each other. not always thinking about politics, not always enriching ourselves, but let us think of others. When we think with our sound mind, very stable mind, we see that we are rich. Africa is rich. The world is rich. But we spend our time just to satisfy a few individuals. We spend our time fighting. We spend our time destroying the thing that would have made us rich because we want to satisfy a few individuals. God has created us with everything. God has made a man to live in a happy life. People may misuse you. Houthis, you may be misused. Palestinians, you may be misused. But think, what a destruction have you brought on your land? If you were to do good and live in peace and think and ask a help for prosperity, today would have been talking about something. Living in poverty cannot change you to see what God has given you. Fighting cannot change you to see what God has given you. But when you live a life which will bring us to success, when we live a successful life, when we live the life in abundance, that's what can bring a difference. Don't let others take advantage over your riches. Don't let others take advantage of your poverty. Don't let others take advantage of your ignorance. Look around, there is something that you can use to make money. Look around, there is something that can change the course of your life. Look around, there is something that can bring your life to success. When you succeed, you shall always remain successful. And when you're successful, you always enjoy this life in abundance, in the way that God has given us, in the way that God has created us on this earth or in this earth. Without that, you cannot make peace with a gun. You cannot make peace with a knife. You cannot make peace with a fight. Peace will come when you are rich. Peace will come when you have food. Peace will come when you have housing. Peace will come when poverty runs away from you. There you have peace. With a gun, you cannot make peace. With violence, you cannot make peace. With bombs, you cannot make peace. For us to enjoy what God has given us fully is when we live in peace. And that only peace can come from God, not by gun, not by satisfying someone or doing what someone has instructed you to do, or disturbing some people or a nation, or killing others. That cannot bring peace. You always live in caves. You always live learning. You always live away from your home. You always live in poverty. You always suffer. Your home will be broken because you have failed to embrace peace. Food in your stomach, food in your mouth, food in your hand, you have peace. Money in your stomach, in your pocket, money in your hand, money in your bank, you have peace. Because whatever you want, you can find it. But when you have money in conflict, you don't have peace. Someone can give you money to cause chaos. Because in conflict, you never learn peace and never have peace. This world can take us to success, to the better height. This world can change the course of our outlook. This world can bring the difference in our life when we embrace peace. Never be involved in violence, but love peace. Live in a peaceful manner with your neighbor. Don't be overtaken. Don't be misused. Be successful in your life when you let your life to lead you to success. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.